Well, hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Right, so Summoner Choice Champion Vote winner has been announced, and it is Quicksilver. So that is definitely not a major surprise, but let's talk a little bit about Quicksilver, what can we kind of expect about him, and when is it all going to be happening, and in general, just kind of a bit of feedback about this year's Summoner Choice in general. So, the day at last has arrived, another nearly 3 million votes for both Quicksilver and Agatha Harkness. The community has decided winner of Summoner's Choice round 2 is Quicksilver. 1,006,052 votes. There's actually quite a lot we can extrapolate from that information alone, because if we each had 5 votes in total in the last round, that means that we can divide the total by 5 and get an approximation how many people voted for Quicksilver. Also, given the fact that there was nearly 3 million votes, and again divide that by 5, so it does seem like there was about 600,000 accounts that did the voting. Now I know for a fact a ton of people have like multiples and alts, and they used all of them to vote, and I'm sure that there were some people who just didn't really vote or didn't bother properly. But that kind of gives us a number of 600,000 moderately, relatively active accounts in the game, which is still quite a large number. That being said, what can we expect of Quicksilver? Obviously, his big appeal and his big thing is the fact that he is Speedster. Now, he's going to be of Science class. We're going to get more details late this year, which is also when he's set to come out. So we probably can expect Quicksilver to join the contest in like October, November, December, most likely, somewhere around that time. Probably not like, completely at the end of the year, December, so it's September, October, November is when we can expect Quicksilver, with details coming out, just before that. I'm sure that Kabam's going to make some videos like they did with Hercules as well, cluing us in about his abilities a bit more. Other than that, Quicksilver has actually super complicated backstory that has recently been retconned again, as if like he's not a mutant in comics either, and you can never really be up to date. At least I have never been fully confident and up to date of Quicksilver's backstory. For most part, I thought he's Magneto's son and a mutant, and then it appears that he might not be, and obviously in the cinematic universe it's different, and here we can see that the design that they have for Quicksilver, he looks somewhat aged, to be honest. And his key ability obviously is the super speed and everything that comes with it. Now, I again expect there to be that mechanic that slows down time during his special, maybe heavy attacks or something like that. Because realistically, you can't have a champion that's faster than other champions. You can't have a champion that, can dash in, dash out, dash in at you by the time opponent tries to swing one attack. It's just not going to happen. The game cannot function that way. So it's probably going to have something to do with, either miss or evade mechanics, because, what's the point of having a super speed if you can't evade or just, evade opponent's attacks. And also, most likely now that we have seen that Hawkeye slowed down time mechanic, that we're also seeing the Kang 746 boss fight, that has been leaked, so it's probably going to be with Quicksilver as well. Overall, however, I must say that this year I was not anywhere near as invested in the Summoner's Choice as I was last year, because this year, to about 95% of the people, was clear who is the likely winner, or at the very least, the two champions who are the likely winners. And it was like Beta Bill and Quicksilver, because those are two by far the biggest fan favorites. They are way more recognizable and have way more name value. And it was clear that one of them is going to win. It was also quite obvious that Beta Bill, as a Cosmic Champion, is going to have a harder time because we have a ton of Cosmic Champions. And that, in my case also was one of the factors why I, let's say, voted Quicksilver over Beta Bill, even though I would personally perhaps want Beta Bill more than I would want Quicksilver. And additional thing that Quicksilver would be the first ever speedster added to the game. all that being said, I think the selection of champions was the biggest disappointment here. I think the actual voting, how it was organized, was much better. So we do need to give Kabam credit for that. I think the fact that we didn't have to grind some crappy arena with shitty rewards if we really wanted to vote for something, you know, that was good. I also think that the Twitter wildcard thing was perfectly fine. Why not? But it was kind of destined to be meh event for me ever since I saw the first 12 champions. If you would take out Beta Bill and Quicksilver, I think that it would have been an interesting race in between Agatha Harkness, maybe Armor, Baron Zemo, Bullseye. You know, Hobgoblin and Prowler have their appeal, and you know, it could have quite literally been pretty much anybody's game at that point. But having such massive fan favorites in this thing, it just destroyed the spirit of. First of all, the idea that Quicksilver and Beta Bill are not coming to the game, you know, in their own right. That we're not gonna, like, you know, open the update on June and see that Beta Bill is coming. That, knowing that for certain was already somewhat demoralizing, because we're thinking is like, Beta Bill is here, like Bullseye is here, Agatha Harkness is here, but we're getting like Misty Knight, for instance, stuff like that. Champions that, you know, a lot less people would want to see in contest, and I think that is one of the upsetting things, because I do follow Marvel Future Revolution and other Marvel games, and for most part, the champions they add are the ones that I wish Kabam would add in Marvel Concept champions. Much more often than not, if I compare the new additions in like Marvel Future Revolution to the new champions coming to Marvel Concept champions, like 8 out of 10 times I'm like, I wish we would get that. But we don't. Sucks. And this was just one of those things that, you know, got reminded to us once again by having Beta Bill and Quicksilver in here and not, you know, confirmed or planned in to arrive in contest in 2022 or early 2023 or something. And for most part, again, you know, everything kind of went without the surprises. There were no major, you know, shakeups. Once we kind of moved out of the first round, and it was clear that Beta Bill is going to go up against Quicksilver, and only one of them is going to remain. This other side bracket, Agatha Harkness and Baron Zemo, was unlikely to win, so it, you know, didn't seem to matter too much. I was kind of hoping for Agatha there, and I voted for Agatha. And then Agatha versus Quicksilver, again, it was like all but decided, in my opinion, who's going to win that one. And because of that, I just... what's the best way to put it? No matter how, you know, gutted I was that Omega Sentinel didn't win last year's Summoner's Choice, I was way more invested in that event. Because it felt like anybody's game at any given round or stage. And this time around, it really didn't feel like that. This time it felt like we all know what's going to happen. And, you know, we just need to wait till the results are announced. So I hope Kabam learns from that, because as I said, there are positives in the fact that I do think that this time around they organized it better. I think it was easier to vote, it was more clear, more understandable, there was no crappy arena. All of that stuff is good, and it was done better. It's just whoever selected the actual options, I think, messed it up for a lot of people. But anyways, Quicksilver is coming to the game late 2022. Let me know what you guys think. So yeah. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the